Hey, I tell you this though, Sister Jean catch this work in the ISO, real quick, high pick and roll.
You crossing over?
Easy.
In the wheelchair?
In
Just
the
like
wheelchair,
the
the whole thing, the whole thing. And I'm doing the James Harden while I lean into it.
So you really want to send Sister Jean up to meet her maker?
Hey, okay.
Like real quick. like real quick?
Yeah.
Hey, you know, but think about the bragging rights you'll have from that point on. Cross somebody in the
Cooked
heaven.
up Sister Jean.
Yeah, cooked up.
And sent her to a early grave.
Okay, I'm not saying all that now, all right? I'm not saying all that. Love to Sister Jean, but she can't catch this work. Easy.
You had me worried for a second because you said she could catch that work, so I wasn't really sure where you were.
Okay, this is. Welcome back to Out of Bounds. We hope that you had a good weekend. I'm Pierce Simpson. I'm joined here as always by my Complex Sports editor, Mr. Adam Caparel. Adam, how you feeling, brother?
We're doing well today.
Doing well. Did you win a lot over the weekend? Lose a lot over the weekend?
Your man's on fire right now, okay? We had a hot, sizzling hot weekend, so you better be listening up for my NCAA championship game picks coming up shortly.
It's Monday, so I'm going to check back with you like on Wednesday to see
right.
how you're doing. And today we have a very special guest in the building, friend of the show, new Hall of Famer, Terrell Owens.
Welcome
in the
back.
building. Let's give a
Congrats to
clap
you on the
on
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Well deserved.
Man, listen, I'm telling everybody, you come on Out of Bounds, you make the Hall of Fame, even
right.
though that's no correlation. But I'm going to say that from this point forward. Yeah. So, T, how you feeling? You feel like a different man at your Hall of Fame?
I had a happy Easter.
Hey, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. You see how you said happy Easter. That was pretty good. That was nice. That was good. I like that one. Hall of Famer, man. It feels good, right? Some validation there. You're like, listen, I'm in the Hall of Fame. Can't take nothing from me.
Not just yet.
Not yet.
Mean, like I said, I guess to say third time's a charm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, definitely it's an honor to be with an elite group of people.
Oh, that's a great class.
So, and then, yeah, the class that I'm going in with, you think about Ray Lewis and Brian Dawkins, Randy Moss, you know, some of the millennial guys, and you have Bobby Rethard, and I can't remember the other guy. But, yeah, I mean, it's you get validation. You're being recognized as one of the top players to ever play my position and just the game itself.
Much more humble than me.
Yeah, I know. What was it like when you got the phone call? Was it really emotional?
I mean, no, it wasn't emotional. I mean, I have my feelings on the Hall of Fame and the process
you told us, yeah.
that has led up to that. So again, you know, I got some things brewing.
You got the speech. You're already working on it.
I'm working on that. I got, you know, my road to the Hall of Fame. I'm getting documented.
Will you be taking shots in your Hall of Fame speech?
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
All right, there we go.
Yeah. I was mentioning that he's much more humble than me. I was like, yes, I'm a Hall of Famer. I'd have like a gold robe. I wouldn't even have the jacket yet because they haven't given it to me. Everything would be gold. And in my acceptance speech, I'd be taking shots at everybody. To the third grade teacher that said I was trash.
Spice up Canton.
Yeah.
I don't know. It may not top Jordan's.
Yeah.
Hey, anything close to it would be good.
But just don't become a meme because Jordan became a meme off that speech.
Yes.
So just don't become a meme.
Right.
But
a meme or Mimi?
hey,
according to Jim Nance, Mimi, yes. Make sure you get an
incredible segue because Jim Nance will be calling the national championship game tonight.
Hello, friends.
Hey, that was great. The 1 seed Villanova is taking on Michigan. It'll face off at 9:20 Eastern for the title in San Antonio, Texas. Villanova again is the 1 seed. They're a 6.5-point favorite right now in tonight's national championship game. Villanova set the record for the most three-pointers in Final Four history with 18 the other night against Kansas, which is impressive in itself. Who do you like in the game, Villanova or Michigan?
Well, do you want to go straight up or are we going against the spread? Because there's two separate ways to go about this.
I feel like T.O. is going to give me the straight answer.
I'm going to go straight up. I'm going to go Villanova.
Villanova.
Yeah, just from the standpoint of threes are always going to be twos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
cool.
Obviously, like I said, they're riding that wave. They're on a hot streak right now.
Yeah.
Michigan, I'm just not really feeling that.
How feel you? Cap, what you think? Give me the spread, because I know
All right,
you
so
got
against the spread right now. You said
everything
6.5. Some books right now you can get at 7 points. I think if you're going to get Michigan getting 7 points, that's way too many points to leave on the table. So I would say take Michigan tonight against the spread. And also the over-under is at 145.5. I think we're going to see defensive struggle because Michigan, one of the best defensive teams in the nation. And what Villanova did on Saturday, hitting 18 threes, that ain't happening again tonight. All right, they were shooting lights out, playing absurd offensive basketball. And they're the best offensive team in the nation.
Yeah.
And they're a juggernaut right now. But the way that Michigan's been playing defense in the tournament and how they are just kind of gelling at the right time and on this little run right now, I think if you get a nice 2-minute scoring drought right here, you can easily hit that under. So I'm going to say under 145.5 and give me Michigan getting 6.5. And if they're getting 7, forget about it. Load.
Maybe Michigan may not play good defense.
They may not, but defense, does defense not travel?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, they may be sluggish. I don't know. Maybe they be tapped out.
There's nerves in a championship game. You've played in a championship game before. Like when you come out of the gate, it's a little bit different than a regular game, right?
Yeah, I mean, but once the whistle's blown, ball's tipped up, I mean, you get into the flow of the game.
Forget all that stuff.
Yeah, that's going out the window.
You gave us all those stats, but you didn't pick who.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like.
Well, again, I'm taking Michigan getting the points. I think Villanova will win the game. I think Villanova wins in a close game, but if you're going to give me 7 points.
You're going where it matters, where the money is.
Yes, exactly. I always go there. Listen, underdogs are 3-1 in the last 4 NCAA championship games.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to take 6.5 or 7 points if you're getting that. So I think we're getting a close game tonight. Villanova's been blowing teams out. They've won every single game in the tournament by 12 points. They've covered every single spread so far in the tournament. Yeah. I think that stops tonight.
Tio, this national championship game tonight is very interesting because of the projected top 10 picks in this upcoming NBA draft. I believe none of those will take place. None of those players will be playing in tonight's game. Does this lack of star power in this NCAA tournament bother you at all, or you just want to see good basketball?
No, I mean, I don't think that star power matters, not in college. So again, I think for the sake of the NCAA and basketball in general, I think their hopes is for a good game.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's what me as a fan I would want to see. As the big business mind, I think that's what they would want to see. But again, in terms of star power, none of them really have star power.
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, we talk about Sister Jean. She's probably been the MVP of the tournament.
She's the star.
And now she's out of here.
So they're hoping for a good game right now.
I think you're gonna get one, but I mean, if you're a very casual college basketball fan, you haven't really watched the tournament. Villanova's a lot of fun to watch because of how their offensive sets, like the backdoor plays that they were running against Kansas, were awesome. Like when they're firing on all cylinders, they're kind of like to a degree like the Rockets. Like they can be that entertaining and that fun to watch offensively.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to make Jalen Brunson somewhat.
Well, he's gonna be an NBA player. I mean, he's maybe a fringe first-round pick. I mean, maybe some projections right now have him kind of maybe falling somewhere in the middle of the first or second round. But he's an NBA talent. He may come back to school again. He's probably going to win Player of the Year. I mean, he's a star on the college level.
Yeah.
But, I mean, do you have top 10 guys that are going to go to the draft playing this game? No, but it should be a very high-level college basketball game.
Right, very true. Now, Cap, you mentioned the spread and the lines, and you talk about how you're taking the points on Michigan, but think Villanova will win the game. You kind of hedging your bets on that one.
I'm just, you're asking me for a straight-up winner. I gave you a straight-up winner. But against the spread, there are multiple games to be played for this game.
Okay, so give us some fun prop bets that you're thinking of right now.
All right. Yes or no, will Jim Nance address the horrendous meme that he orchestrated on Saturday night in butchering what is known as a meme on the internet?
Man,
he has to, right?
I doubt it. I don't know. I don't think he will.
Ancient Jim Nance has to atone for that egregious error. He has to.
You're hoping for an atonement?
Yes.
You're hoping for an atonement? I don't know. I mean, being the fact that he didn't know it was called meme, I don't even think that it's going to be on his mind to address it.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this is a guy that carries a picture of toast in his wallet that he can pull out and show waiters how he wants his toast prepared.
Wait, are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
This is a real thing.
Grant Hill brought this up like 2 years ago, that Jim Nance, when he goes and orders breakfast at different places, he likes his toast burned a specific way. He actually carries a picture of burnt toast to show the waiters exactly how he wants it.
What? What?
Yeah, I'm dead serious. I'm not making this up.
What?
I'm dead serious.
That is.
How psychotic is that?
What in the world is that? I don't even know if that's like a wealthy thing or just like you're weird. That's just
I think
weird.
it's weird. Yes.
I mean, how can you just not tell somebody, just
exactly. Like I just
my toast crispy, like bacon.
I don't know.
I need it crispy or soft.
I would agree. Yes.
You gotta have.
He said he avoids awkward conversations with waiters by just showing him a picture of the toast.
Oh, wow. Okay, Jim Nance, he needs to bring up the toast situation instead of
right. Atone for your toast picture.
Exactly.
Not for saying baby. Will Sister Jean's name be brought up in the telecast?
Yes. You know it is.
Yes.
Somehow, one way or another.
All right. Over, under 1.5 drinking references for Bill Raftery.
Ooh, over. Because I still think he has a concussion from the other day. So he's going to be talking reckless. He's going to be talking spicy. So I say over.
I say over, too. I'm going to say at least 2 or 3 references of Bill Raftery closing down a bar or drinking heavily.
Yeah. Halfway through the second half.
We'll make it unanimous.
Yeah. Hey, I like it.
Over, under 1.5 times they reference Jay Wright dressing like a baller.
Who?
Jay Wright, the Villanova coach. The Natalie attired Jay Wright.
I say under. I
would say under. Probably one time early on the season. Look at Jay Wright all
it's like,
up. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Over, under one NBA guy on the floor tonight.
Over.
You go
I think
over?
you have two guys in Villanova that can definitely make it. Maybe one guy on Michigan that could.
See, I was hoping that I did that intentionally to hope that you would say, oh, we'll have like 4 NBA guys on the floor, just 2. So that shows you.
Well,
how
listen,
great of a
again,
game
if you're a strict NBA, you love watching the NBA. You're an NBA guy too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's the quality of basketball in college is never going to equate to the NBA. But if you embrace it for what it is, it can be a lot of fun. Like, you've seen some high-level games in the tournament, and yes, you've seen some trash basketball for sure, but like, you should get a high-level college basketball game tonight, and those are usually pretty fun.
You think
I didn't convince you
You
to,
think
so
we'll see
yes.
something high level tonight? See, you can't go and watch.
Like, did you watch the Duke Kansas game?
Some highlights, yeah.
Okay, if you watch that entire game, that was a very high-level college basketball game. It was a fun game.
How many games collectively is in the tournament?
I'm bad at math. That's a
Right,
That's
that's
a
like
terrible
over
question to
100,
ask me.
right? That was the only game.
There's a few other higher-level games, yes.
That's what we're gonna go with.
Yes.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of bad
I
basketball.
can't convince you to. I will try.
You can't go watch James Harden and then go watch, the
Yes.
guy that you say might be a second
It's like
round
going
pick.
from filet mignon to Taco Bell. I
Pretty
mean,
much.
I get each time, but like,
Pretty
no,
much.
embrace it for what it is.
That's true.
Just embrace it for what it is.
Big facts.
All right, keeping it locked with Michigan, Coach John Beilein says it's a matter of when and not if the school finally recognizes the Fab Five. So on Sunday, during the press conference before the NCAA title game, Beilein said he believes the school will one day officially honor the Fab Five, the team that reached the 1992 and 1993 NCAA championship games. The standout squad featuring Ray Jackson, Jimmy King, Juwan Howard, Jalen Rose, and of course Chris Webber had a huge impact on and off the court culturally, with the game popularizing rebellious hip-hop attitude and fashion in basketball, unlike any teams we saw prior to that. But in 2002, the NCAA, after an investigation, vacated Michigan's 2 Final Four trips because of allegations that guys were taking some benefits under the table, including Chris Webber, whose noted ties to the booster Ed Martin have kind of severed his ties to the school itself. Beilein said, quote, "The university acknowledges that team. The NCAA has just put certain restrictions on that team for what we can do. We love the Fab Five, and we continue to reach out to the Fab Five and that team." So the question for you guys, do you believe that this is imminent, that the school will actually recognize what's been arguably the most influential college basketball team of all time?
At some point, you have to.
Yeah, you have to.
You would think so, right?
Right, yeah. I mean, I think you think about the cultural contribution that they've made to the game of basketball. I mean, at some point, you have to recognize them for what they've done.
Yeah, because they ushered in this. They were kind of the first, like the prehistoric version of what we see now with the one and done and freshmen coming in and just dominating. The Kentucky teams that we've seen over the past couple of years, Michigan was doing this in the early 90s. And also the reason I've been laughing this whole time is, Cap, you're a very, very hip guy and you know your music, but when you said popularizing rebellious hip hop attitude, that was something. That made me giggle.
That was the PC way of saying
that.
it.
It might be Jim Nance on that one. You might have toast in your wallet after saying that. But with Michigan and the Fab Five, it makes no sense that actions that occur away from the basketball court will affect what they actually did on the court, going to back-to-back national titles. To have those moments in time in the history, and like you said, the cultural references, whether good, bad, or indifferent. I mean, you hear rappers all the time talk about Chris Webber and the timeout. You had one of the most popular 30 for 30 documentaries with the Fab Five. You had them usher in the black socks and black Nikes and the baggy shorts.
Baggy shorts.
Exactly. Yeah. So you have to honor it. Whatever all the other NCAA infractions, that's nothing compared to what they're doing now. So, hey, honor them.
Man, it makes you not even want to wear a pair of white socks anymore.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It just doesn't seem right.
You and I are older than Pierce. Pierce was in short pants when the Fab Five was doing their thing. So you remember how influential they were, watching those games?
Yeah. I mean, you think about the high flying, just dunking.
And the attitude they had, too, was
just
unlike
that,
anything else.
Like they had swag before swag was swag.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And 2 of the guys are from Texas. I just had to throw that out there.
Showing love to your Texas
that's
brother.
all,
Right.
That's how we do. But yeah, they like we mentioned before, just the swag, the culture, the identity. You rarely see guys go to a school like Michigan and just change the culture completely.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Michigan had Glenn Rice before, but it was just totally different. You don't think of Michigan prior to the Fab Five, especially Michigan basketball.
You just wonder, though, can Chris Webber, come back into the fold and be welcomed by everyone? Because obviously Jalen Rose has been kind of adamant that Chris has been exclusionary for a number of different reasons, he's kind of the one precipitating the feud between them or whatever feud that supposedly is out there. So, like, well, at some point, will they come to some sort of agreement or some sort of peace agreement and come back together as a group?
You mentioned Michigan playing in the national championship game tonight. Back in 2013 when they played Louisville in the national championship game, 4 of the Fab Five were sitting together by the court, and Chris Webber was just in the suite alone, chilling. Not alone, but not together with his other teammates back in Michigan. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if they can mend the fences, but hopefully for basketball fans out there, they can. And
there's a hilarious quote from Jalen when they asked him in 2005 about the documentary about Chris Webber. It's a little bit long, but asking about why Chris Webber did not participate in the 30 for 30, Jalen said, quote, "One dude traveled and called timeout. One dude lied to grand jury and hasn't apologized. One dude tried to circumvent the documentary to HBO. One dude ignored multiple requests for everyone involved after agreeing to participate. One dude played like Obama and sat in a suite during Michigan's recent title game. One dude slandered Ed Martin after all he did for him and his family. One dude is not in contact with the other 4, which is all good. One dude has been doing a rebuttal doc for 4 years. One dude is clearly delusional and still in denial.
Jeez.
Congrats on your amazing success. Respect had no price. Man up." So there are some fences to be mended, but like you would think that for, again, how influential they were, all these guys can get on the same page, and hopefully Michigan does the right thing and recognizes them, because that team, those teams, I should say, like, they changed college basketball and basketball in general.
Of course. And how much revenue has been made off of the Fab Five over the years?
A ton.
And we're talking about the alleged 6 figures that was given to Chris
Ed Martin
Webber.
supposedly gave.
Yeah.
The other thing, too, that pissed me off, we talked about this when the Louisville scandal. Like, I hate that schools keep taking down these banners and all the recognition of their success.
Right.
There's nothing that I can find in the NCAA book, regulations, guide, whatever the hell you want to call it, that says you have to take down these banners. Say fuck you to the NCAA, make them go on a ladder and take down the banners themselves. Keep them up there. You guys, you did this. We saw it. It happened.
It's just,
you can't make it disappear like that. Just keep the banners up.
It's really stupid.
It's juvenile.
It's like saying, T.O., you didn't play in the Super Bowl in 2005. All right? It didn't happen. So don't talk about it. It's like, that's dumb.
No, we watched it.
We all saw it.
A broken leg.
Yeah, exactly. We remember.
Yeah.
We all saw it. It's like, come on.
So I wish schools would just put their foot down, just tell the NCAA to back the fuck off. We're keeping our banners up there, and you can't do shit about it.
For me, I think the most interesting thing is just the relationship with those 4 guys with Webber. And I think with what you just read, it's loyalty with Jalen.
Yeah.
I think with that bond that they established, again, everything that we have witnessed as fans, and I'm sure just with that culture that they began to show everybody. I mean, I think those are some. Jalen, he's hot.
He went for it in that one.
Oh,
the quote's a few years old, but like he went for it with that.
And you can tell like he's the spokesman of that Fab Five group. So you can just tell like there was some loyalty there that just he didn't adhere to on Chris Webber's side.
Yeah.
They got a group chat, and Chris Webber was not in that. You know that. You know that. They was like, hey, send that out.
That's going to be popping off.
It's so funny. Like I was recently doing some shows down in Las Vegas, and it was called Renegades, and it was with myself and Jim McMahon and Jose Canseco. And so the times that I wasn't there, Jimmy King filled in my spot. And so I wish I could have been there to kind of, because with the audience, they had an opportunity to ask any and all questions.
Yeah.
Everything was not off. I mean, everything was permissible.
Yeah.
So I wish I could have been there to kind of been in the crowd, or even been there just to ask some of those hard, tough questions that I think a lot of fans want to know about that relationship, that whole journey of going through the Fab Five. But
1,000,000%.
It's interesting.
You knew T.O. was ready because he using a district attorney words, permissible. I was like, oh, okay, he's lit. He ready for that. He's
Man. It's interesting about this whole Fab Five thing, and I mean, you kind of, I don't even know if they're excluding him. I think it's just Chris Webber not wanting to include himself. You think?
But he's also never really he's never been. Correct me if I'm wrong. We'd have to go back and look, but I don't think he's ever really kind of acknowledged what he did per se. Like he's kind of always tried to sweep it under the rug and avoid talking about it.
Right.
The accusations are out there. You got essentially pinched for it by the NCAA with their investigation, but he's always kind of really, really denied it and just stayed away from it, never really acknowledged what he did.
Right.
And you weren't the only guilty party with what Michigan did,
right,
but you were probably the biggest offender.
Right.
And at this point, it's
like you said,
20 years after the fact.
Yeah.
Just own up to it and just talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at Chris Webber's career, though, he never really attaches himself to any team that he's been a good part of. So maybe that's just his personality. Who knows? But if they're your brothers, you stick with your brothers.
You would think.
You would think, but
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to the NBA. The Heat's Hassan Whiteside is getting pissy about his playing time. So on Saturday, the Heat center went on a salty rant over his lack of playing time and implied that other teams might use him better. So following the 110-109 overtime loss to the Nets, Whiteside ripped his coaches for frequently benching him come crunch time late in games when opponents play small lineups like we saw with the Nets. So Whiteside said, quote, "We've got one of the best centers in the league. Why are we matching up? A lot of teams don't have a good center. They're going to use their strengths. It's bullshit. It's really bullshit, man. There are a lot of teams that can use a center." Whiteside went for it. Yeah, he got fined by his team for that real quick. The Heat had no comment on Sunday, but fined him an undisclosed amount for, quote, comments detrimental to the team. That mysterious comments detrimental to the team. So, Tio, as a player who obviously was very outspoken back in your day, what do you make of a guy criticizing his coaches so freely like that in a post-game press conference just right after a game?
I think it's more than what meets the eye.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I think there has to be something that we as fans don't know. I mean, it may be something boiling behind closed doors. But he has a point. If you have a dominant center, he feels like he's a dominant center that's really been extinct for a number of years. You think about the dominant centers like Shaq and Hakeem Olajuwon and those guys. Again, my thing is, show me why he shouldn't be on the floor, and then we may have some conversation. Yeah. But if I can play and I feel like I can match up or what have you on the floor with anybody on the floor, regardless if it's small ball or whatever the situation may be, then let me ball, let me play.
Hassan Whiteside's efficiency numbers are, I'm sure, amongst one of the worst in the league as far as centers. He's has a reputation of being a good stats, bad team guy, and this just seems to be a situation where he's like, okay, I understand we lost to the lowly Nets, but maybe my playing time has been waning over the past few weeks, and I need to play. But the quote that got me was, there are a lot of teams that can use a center. So is he already kind of making his way out of town?
Well, he's got 2 years left in that contract, and he's getting paid by Miami. So, I mean, maybe make some sort of inroads with your agent in the offseason, but, like, is this just not like a salty, little stint where it's just like, I haven't got about getting the playing time, let me spout off a little bit? Like, it just seems to me like, I agree with you. I'm not a big Whiteside fan.
Yeah.
I think he's a bit of a dinosaur in the league right now. The advanced stats, you look at them, is pretty much maintained, even though he's missed a bunch of games this year. He's still kind of the same production value. Yeah. But I could tick off a lot of big men I'd rather have on my team than Whiteside. And he provides defense, obviously, and he's a serviceable, if not more than respectable center. But him spouting off like that is a little shocking to me.
Yeah.
You're only 7th in the East right now.
Talk about it. In the East.
In the East, yes. In the East.
Get us 2 more people and we can probably be 8th in the East.
Yeah. So how do you guys as players, though, if someone spouts off like that, do you address that internally or do you just leave that for the coaches and the executives to deal with?
I think that's more of a management, coaches, player type of situation. I think as long as the chemistry is well with the teammates, the guys on the floor, I think that's what's most important. If you can't get along with some of your teammates, then that's where the issue lies. I mean, again, at the end of the day, coaches kind of, hold that card whether you play or not. I mean, they assess, matchups and your role on the team. But again, like I said, it would be different if he was having a situation with, just say, Dwayne Wade, for instance. Then you got some friction there.
So is it easier to navigate if you're beefing with coaches and management rather than teammates?
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay.
I would think so. Because again, if you're having beef with a player,
you
know what I mean, and especially you got a player that kind of controls the ball, you can kind of dictate where that ball goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, coming from a Hall of Fame receiver, that makes sense. I saw the light in his eyes. He was like, "Oh man."
Then, like I said, if you're that dynamic player, and you're not getting the rock, then that's when coaches kind of that comes into play.
Of course.
But in terms of your value, again, like I said, that was why I was able to be as vocal, not really trying to cause a rift with management or anything like that. But again, my play I let my play do the speaking for me because again, like I said, the more touches that I have, the more I'm involved in the game, the better chances you have to win with me with the ball in my hands versus not.
Very true.
So do we think this spells the end for Whiteside in Miami, or is this, again, just a little bump in the road in their trip to the playoffs and back to relevancy maybe one day?
I think it's a bump in the road. I haven't.
Are you a Whiteside fan? I mean, you're a big NBA guy. Are you a Whiteside fan?
I mean, I like what he does on the court. I mean, I don't really, not to say I'm a big fan of Whiteside, but I like what he brings to to the game.
I think T.O. has like a personal fan club of people who's like, oh, you're not playing me, but we can help win by me being in the game? Oh, I like that guy. I like what he's doing. I think this is the beginning of the end for Hassan Whiteside in Miami, just because every trade deadline we hear rumblings of his name being mentioned in packages.
Yeah, but
going
who wants to pay $23 million for him right now?
Your Knicks to get out of Joakim Noah's contract.
So the Heat are going to take on that?
I don't know. I'm just
one albatross for another?
Listen, if you need a big man and you want some type of talented center, you know what I'm saying?
Can the Knicks not take another horrendous contract for once in their life, please?
I'm just thinking of various teams that could potentially use a center or use a guy of that stature.
But a dinosaur center?
Maybe he could end up back in Sacramento. He could probably end up back in Sacramento. They need a center. They need somebody in there
Boogie?
to replace Boogie, which is a backwards way of doing things.
Very backwards way of doing it.
But we have a good center that's, fourth right now in the Eastern Conference? Yeah. All-star Joel Embiid. He's suffering from a fractured orbital bone that occurred when he ran into Markelle Fultz last week. There's been reports that he's going to miss only one playoff game, but in the meantime, right after surgery, Joel Embiid provided a series of hilarious tweets. He had some tweets at my wife, Rihanna. Okay?
Oh, really?
At my wife.
Is that breaking news?
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, y'all didn't know that? Oh, y'all didn't send me a gift, so we got to talk about that. It was a wedding gift.
Man.
I'll send y'all address later on. But in some of the tweets that he put out there that was just hilarious during the Kansas and Villanova game on Saturday, he tweeted out, all caps, "This is brutal. I'm literally trying to take my mind off this pain, but Kansas is not helping. #rock chalk." The next tweet was, "Sitting here high watching the game like," with the picture of Two-Face from the movie Dark Knight. And then he tweeted at my wife, which was kind of outlandish, but, we had a chuckle at it when we were at the house. "Babe, are you single or not?" Absolutely not. She can't be single because she's with me. And T.O.'s laughing. I don't know why he's laughing, because he knows it's true. And then he responded to his own tweet saying, "Process stop. I thought you were an all-star."
It's called Shoot Your Shot 2018.
Yeah, he shoot his shot 2018. In all seriousness, though, is Joel Embiid the funniest and most social media savvy NBA player or athlete in general that we have in?
In all seriousness, what doctor gave him 2 Vicodins and a shot of vodka? Because he was on one on Saturday. He was on one.
He was hurt.
Yeah, he's definitely a character. I mean, you think about what Shaq did when he was playing.
Yeah.
I mean, Shaq's still a character. I mean, it just really plays into really his personality, where we are, social media wise. I mean, he's having fun with it.
Yeah. When I saw the tweet of him saying, "Sitting here high watching the game," like I forgot that he had a fractured orbital bone and probably just had surgery. So I'm sitting there, I was like, yo, he's just tweeting that he's on drugs and the NBA's not doing anything.
Right, exactly. He's whoa.
I was like, yo, this tweet has a lot of
retweets. A certain tempo, you can get away with it for a while.
You definitely can.
He wasn't the only NBA player getting high on Saturday nights.
Right.
Real talk.
Very true.
Real talk.
You have some inside information. Aside from Joel Embiid, what are some other players that you would love to just kick it with in the NBA, just hang out with? Is anybody else on your mind?
Oh, kick it with? Ooh. It's a good question.
I'm thinking it just depends on what type of pierce are you trying to get. Am I trying to go out there and find somebody?
Also, what kind of drink are you having? Because there's a lot of NBA guys now into the wine scene.
It could be the wine, but listen, if I want to go out and potentially get Rihanna or some type of megastar, I'm bringing J.R. Smith with me. I'm bringing some guys.
You're going for it.
I'm going for it. It's going to be the Three Musketeers of just savagery. We're just going to go out there and we're going to do our thing. But Joel Embiid is great. LeBron James obviously would be a great person to hang out with.
I'm going
to put Michael Beasley on my list.
Oh, wow. You really want to get into some savagery.
You talk to Beasley?
Beasley? Why Beasley?
Beasley's fun. Have you talked to Beasley? Have you hung out with him? Beasley's fun. I
think he might be the only one.
You might be the only one.
Get to know Mike. Mike's fun.
Get to know Mike? Yeah, I mean, listen, Mike has
Not saying he's not.
He has some great quotes, like he was, talking about before the season with the brain and the percentages, and I was like, yo, you need to be tested right now.
We had Mike in the New York office last September before the season, and the honesty that he showed,
a lot of honesty,
the insights was amazing. So talking to Mike and doing some other stories with him during the season, he's been a lot of fun to talk to, and a really fun personality.
How about you and Swaggy P, Nick Young? Could y'all have like the same manager? Shout out my guy Doug.
Dougie,
shout out Dougie. Shout out my guy. Yeah. So maybe y'all could, y'all kick it, hang out.
Yeah, we've hung out. He run into each other on the court.
Time out. We got to unpack this story. You gave him some buckets?
No, I wasn't checking him.
Okay.
I wasn't checking him. But again, played in some charity events where he's been the celebrity coach or what have you. He did tick me off one time. Took me off the court. You know what I mean? I had a Hassan Whiteside moment. You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you play me? I'm like one of the guys on the court that gets buckets. You know what I mean? But other than that,
Hey, I'm with it. I'm not mad at it. Cap. So aside from Michael Beasley, anybody?
I think Nick Young's a good selection.
Nick Young would be great. Friend of the show, non-friend of the show, friend of the show. Nick Young. He wanted our show canceled. So. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Long story. Long story.
His lawyers talked to our lawyers.
Yeah, his lawyers talked to our lawyers. It was, Gilbert.
Kyrie Irving, the guy that thinks the world is flat. I mean,
nah, that would just make me upset hanging
exactly,
out there.
Yeah. That would mess with your head.
It would be interesting.
Interesting?
We did a deep dive on Kyrie's Instagram.
Yeah.
By the way, a couple weeks ago. He's into some weird shit. He's into some
man.
weird conspiracy theories.
Think about it. For LeBron to be like, yo, we got to get him up out of here, dog. Think about it. You know y'all hear some weird stuff.
Seriously, go check the accounts that Kyrie follows on Instagram. You're gonna go down some rabbit holes. Like, it's weird shit. It's really weird shit. Like massive conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
So the stuff that he sees in his feed every single day is completely fucking with his head.
So bringing it back to Joel Embiid and his Twitter shots at my imaginary wife. In reality,
now she's imaginary. Okay.
I gotta give the people honesty. I gotta be truthful. Do you think this will work out for him? Do you think he'll be able to get Rihanna off to these?
How did it work for you?
Listen, you get into the Hall of Fame, you start taking shots.
No, I'm just saying.
You know?
I mean, how well did it work out for you?
Listen.
I mean, you went from wife to imaginary in like a matter of minutes. So, maybe he may. I mean,
don't crush his dreams.
Well, he went.
It was nice having T.O. on Out of Bounds today. We got,
His second and last appearance.
Yeah. I'm have him tied up in the back. But I mean, it might work for him. She was allegedly the person that said, "Holler back at me when you're an all-star." He's an all-star this year. So
he's in the playoffs.
He's in the playoffs.
He's about to be one of the best players in the NBA in a few years.
About to be one of the highest paid players.
And at one point, he said he wasn't gonna take a shot at her, but now he's going back on his words.
Back in your playing day, when you were hot, shit at 25, would you have been hollering at chicks on Twitter?
Probably. I mean, I probably would have been sliding in her DMs.
There you go. Yes.
Yes. T.O. in his heyday with Twitter.
Oh, you would have been, big time.
You
The
probably
tweets would have been
sliding
golden.
in some DMs.
Oh, Paul Tagliabue would have been upset. Roger Goodell would have been upset.
Would have been causing fits for the Niners.
Listen,
and Cowboys.
I was telling them in the green room that rule about the can't tweet like 90 minutes before. The 2010 Bengals with him and Chad on the same squad. They created that rule. I'm pretty sure. Can you imagine? Oh man, come on. Marvin Lewis would just have a heart attack on the field. Those guys tweeting away. That'd just be too much. Yeah.
Need to go back to the future, get your Twitter.
Hey, create a parody T.O. account. What would T.O. say in 2003?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Someone should do
You gotta get on that.
Somebody do that.
Yeah, I'm with it. But that wraps up the latest edition of Out of Bounds. T.O., how did you feel being on today's show?
I mean, it gets better.
Hey,
every time.
Thank you for filling in.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thanks.
And you got to take your Gilbert Arenas picture
don't
with
forget
you.
your gift, yes.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that. Oh,
Remember, Gil gave you this gift the first time you were around. You left it here.
I forgot.
On purpose.
On purpose.
I've been looking for that. This is where I left it.
It was the coldest thing ever because Gil presented him the gift and he just left it on the table.
Honestly, I thought I left it in my Uber. The Uber guy took it and didn't return it.
He would have came up. The Uber guy was like, hey, got a
I
nice
think Gil has a few of these in the trunk.
He probably does, along with other things in the trunk. But for Adam Caparell, Hall of Famer Terrell Owens, I'm Pierce Simpson. This is Out of Bounds. We'll see you tomorrow. Go to Target and spend your whole life savings. Be upset.
Oh, yeah, you get lost in Target.
Oh, man. I'd be like, can I take this back? I'm going to just leave this here.
Yeah.
That price total and self-checkout be too large, you just leave the basket. Just leave the basket with everything in it. It's cancel.
You know what kills me when you go to Target?
What?
You have all the items, and then they ask you, do you want a bag?
Bro.
Like, what am I?
What's a California thing, though?
That's California.
Right, but how am I going to get this stuff to the
That's
car?
called extortion in California. Why do y'all do that?
Yeah.
Why
Look at all this
Oh,
stuff.
I
from
forgot,
New York
I
now.
forgot
What
about
are we doing?
that. I forgot about that.
Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I got all these items. Do I want a bag?
Yeah,
Yes.
of course. But some people be
You
coming in.
got to pay 10
I
cents.
mean,
instead.
yes, people have the reusable bags and this and that, but if you don't see any
I'm guessing
bags,
you're not a reusable bag kind of guy.
I mean, I try to be.
Yeah.
Just doesn't work.
He's never used a
I can-
reusable
yeah.
bag. He's never used a
reusable bag
reusable
guy.
He was like, how
I
can
can't
this sound
see T.O.
good?
Yeah, I can't see T.O. bringing the reusable bags.
Yeah, just like